sir. Not there yet. Setting up. Here we go. Oh my God.
Take one.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, we are now under standing orders, so I'll declare the meeting open, and I would remind all of you that we are being broadcast live. And obviously it's a difficult situation. The purpose of the meeting today, it's an emergency meeting, and it has only one item on it, which is a decision as to whether we take over the application for the funding, which I think amounts to £40,000, which is to fund part one of a feasibility study for the solar panel arrays that has been proposed. As a council, we did vote to support that initiative, but what's actually happened, and I'll go into that in more detail in a second or two, requires us to take a more active role in that first stage. Are there any apologies, Andy?
No,
are there any apologies, Andy?
No, no apologies.
Didn't mean to mute you. Okay, so the situation, I want to keep it as brief. I want to thank everybody for coming along. It's a Saturday afternoon. I know we're not exactly all busy out and about anymore, but even so, it is an additional meeting. And the advice to us is that we rarely use that power to call emergency meetings. What's happened, however, is that on Tuesday, a decision is being made for Sustainable Hayfield's application for a grant to fund a feasibility study. It's not to fund, obviously, the actual building of the solar array. It's there simply to pay for the people who are going to do the feasibility study. Now, initially, in October, they were actually given to believe that they could form what's called, what's the name of it, under the sort of company that it has to be? Incorporated company or body. They were aware of that in October, but the officer informed them that it wouldn't matter if they waited until they'd got the grant and then formed it. Okay, that appears to be their understanding. And I've spoken at length with Graham Hurst, and Laurie has sent us an email with a lot of detail about that. And they definitely had the impression that they could form that at the point when they got the money, that there wasn't much point in forming it just to remain empty. There's no saying they will get the money. So they certainly genuinely believed that they could wait and see. If they were successful, they would then form a company and the money could be paid into that account. That hasn't happened, and what they've been told now is that in fact they won't even be considered if there isn't an incorporated body involved. We are an incorporated body by their definition as a parish council, and so Sustainable Hayfield have come and asked us at this point if we would then be the named applicant and take receipt of the £40,000 if they get it. They might not get it anyway, of course, but at least they'll have a chance if we agree to that. Obviously, like all of you, I was very concerned, and I've spoken at length about it, that it doesn't entail any additional responsibility on the parish council for something that we wouldn't want hands-on direct responsibility for at this point. What it would involve is allowing our bank, if you like, to receive the money. We would be invoiced directly in 2 installments, and we would pay that money out. So it just comes in and goes out. It has no implications for the next phase or for involvement with the actual building of the solar panels if that goes ahead. It's simply a convenience that will allow the bid to be entered on Tuesday. Okay, so I'm fairly sure, well, I'm sure in my mind that it's not involving any more than that. It's not an ideal situation. It's certainly not of our making that it's as late as this. I mean, we're actually the cavalry coming along at this point to sort of rescue the situation, really. But I do also think it's right that it's not the fault of Sustainable Hayfield either. There's been a real misunderstanding somewhere, and it appears to have come from the other side, one of the officers acting for the bid people. Okay, so if anybody wants to speak on this, I'll take a round of discussion on it. So if anybody wants to indicate that they want to speak at this point. Okay, now I can't tell from that whether that means people think it's a good idea or it's not. So before, what we would do at this point is perhaps go to a vote. But before then, I would like to hear from people who are either think we should pass this or shouldn't. So there's two people there. I'll go to you first, Dave, and then Catherine. Dave, you're on mic.
Just what do you think are the disadvantages of
for us as a parish council, there doesn't seem to be any implications for us. It's not that we're going to get entangled in anything. It's a very straightforward thing. If we act as the applicant, the bid can be considered, and it might or might not succeed, in which case we simply deal with the company that does the feasibility study. There don't seem to be, and I know Andy's done a lot of work on this, and I've had a look at a lot of stuff as well. There doesn't seem to be any further implication for us. It just will allow their bid to be entered. I'm going to mute you again, Dave, and Catherine.
Am I on? Yeah. Well, personally, I think it's a really exciting project, but I wouldn't I? Because I'm on the climate committee. But I think personally that the parish council should be involved purely for the kudos, because it's going to be a tremendous benefit for the village if it does succeed, and there's no reason why it shouldn't do. So I'm really in favour of it. Okay,
are you muted again? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure about this. Well, I'm very much in favour of the project as it develops, but I wasn't sure about us suddenly having our hand forced in terms of direct involvement in it. But I think Andy and I have both convinced ourselves that there is no option. Sustainable Hayfield aren't to blame. We're certainly not. And we have got an opportunity here to give them the chance of submitting the bid. That's really what it amounts to. Eva, okay, Eva?
I think we've got to go along with it, and particularly if Andy's in control of the money, I'm quite happy about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's all sorts of things we need to consider, but it is that Andy and I have both looked at it, and it is Andy, and all he's doing is we're acting as a receipts, really, as a receiving holding account.
I'm quite happy.
Okay, I'm going to mute you again, Eva. Kathy, you wanted to speak again, or have you just left your hand up? Hang on. Okay, have you just left your hand up, Kath, or did you want to say something?
I'm gone.
Okay, and Eva, can you take your hand down? All right, it's okay, I can do it, can't I? Dave, did you want to speak again? Yeah, hang on, Dave, hang on.
You need to unmute, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, if we're only going to be a conduit.
Yeah, that's a good word for it, Dave, definitely.
Very good idea, I think we should support it. Yes, I'm right behind it, yes.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. I'll do that. So, Lisa, just a sec. Okay, Lisa, you're on.
Yeah, I'm fine with it as well. Can I just ask where Jackie's gone?
I think she dropped
She's
out.
disappeared.
Yes, she's dropped out. I can't unlock the meeting, so I will
Right.
put it on loudspeaker on this, but that could make life a little...
Anyway, I'm fine with it, Dave.
Okay. Well, look, what I'm going to do, just hang on there. Well, what I'm going to do is move straight to a vote. It's an emergency meeting, and you know, it's all of our time as well. It is an exciting project for the village, and we have supported it as a council previously. It might come to nothing, of course, but it does give people that opportunity if we support it. So that's great, actually. So have we got an actual proposal wording, Andy?
That Hayfield Parish Council agrees to be the named applicant to the Rural Community Energy Fund for a project to carry out a technical feasibility assessment reconstruction of a ground-based solar farm within the parish of Hayfield. This would not in any way commit the council to any future involvement with the scheme, financial or otherwise.
Okay, so can you all vote on that? Oh, well, I propose it. Can I have a seconder for that, actually? Yeah, okay. Dave Gates seconded that. And can I see all those in favour? Eva, Jonathan? Okay, right, that's clearly carried. I don't get a hands up, I get a thumb.
Yeah.
Which is great. Does everybody see that or not? Anyway, yeah. Okay, I like that. That's off again. All right, that is carried. So as that's the only item of our agenda tonight, that's carried unanimously, Andy. And I'm going to bring the meeting to a close.